Hello and welcome to Sonic Lore, History of Mobius. Last time, I retold the story of Sonic's first encounter with Knuckles. Now, it's time for more adventures with Sonic and his friends. Sonic's first adventure started when Tails entered a greenhouse and witnessed a horrific sight. He saw Sonic entangled by a giant plant. Tails was about to rescue Sonic, but Sonic told him to stop. He informed Tails that he was looking after Rotor's plants while Rotor was gone. He then clarified that the passion flower grabbed him when he watered it. Sonic was about to ask Tails to do something for him, but Tails interrupted him when he thought that Sonic wanted him to lead the freedom fighters. Sonic burst his bubble when he told Tails he wanted him to water Rotor's plants. Sonic told Tails he wasn't ready to be a leader yet, and then hurried to meet with Rotor. Soon, Tails sighed after thinking about what Sonic said and agreed he wasn't a leader. He was also upset that he couldn't find food to eat. That's when Tails noticed a fruit hanging from one of Rotor's trees. Later, Sonic returned with Rotor. Rotor was concerned that Sonic left Tails in charge of his plants, but Sonic assured him Tails could handle it. However, as soon as they entered the greenhouse, Rotor was shocked when he saw that all of his plants were now gigantic. Rotor asked how it happened, and that's when Tails told Rotor he did it. Tails explained how he caused the plants to grow, causing Sonic and Rotor to be shocked at Tails' newfound intellect. Sonic thought Tails was possessed, but Rotor asked Tails how he suddenly knew so much about plants. Tails replied he thought of the equation while eating the fruit he spotted earlier. Rotor was surprised when he saw the fruit and ran to the tree Tails got it from. Sonic asked Rotor what was going on. Rotor told Sonic that Tails had eaten the only fruit he could grow on the Mobian Tree of Wisdom. Sonic had never heard of the tree before, causing him to be puzzled. Rotor told him the story of when he found the tree and revealed he could never get it to produce more than one apple. He then informed Sonic that anyone who ate the fruit would become super intelligent. Suddenly, Antoine came screaming for help. Sonic mocked him, but Antoine told everyone that he, Sally, and Bunny got ambushed when they went scouting. He informed Sonic that Sally and Bunny were trapped in the high weeds by a giant shredbot. Sonic rushed to Sally and Bunny's location to save them. Meanwhile, Sally and Bunny were running from the shredbot. Sally started to tire and couldn't run any longer, but Sonic soon arrived to help them. Before Sonic could do anything, Tails appeared and said he would handle the robot. Tails flew up to the shredbot and goaded it to use its blades against him. Tails avoided the blades, causing them to destroy each other on impact. Sonic was surprised that Tails moved as fast as him and wanted to know how he did it. Tails gave a lengthy explanation, but Sonic told him to shut up. Sally asked Tails what his new intellect meant for them. Tails responded by proclaiming himself as the new leader of the freedom fighters. Later, in Knothole, Rotor shouted for Sonic's help when he assumed that one of Robotnik's robots found their base and tried to capture him. Sonic used his sonic spin on the robot, but he bounced off it. Tails then showed up and told Sonic that his move couldn't damage his Vacuubot. Tails informed Sonic that he built the Vacuubot to do their housework and revealed he made it out of a special metal alloy that Robotnik couldn't detect with his sensors. Tails then said he used the leftover metal to fashion a badge for himself. Sally tried to explain to Tails that a leader needed more than smarts, but Tails dismissed her and said he would prove himself by subduing their prime nemesis. Soon, in Robotropolis, Snively informed Robotnik of someone approaching his base. Robotnik was pleased by the news and ordered Snively to capture the intruder and roboticize them. However, Snively told Robotnik that the intruder was eluding the guards and evading his security system with ease. Robotnik couldn't believe that anyone could get inside his domain. Snively showed his uncle that the intruder was Tails. Robotnik ordered Snively to seal all of the entrances, but Tails told him not to bother. Robotnik was shocked by how fast Tails had gotten to him. Tails insisted that Robotnik hand over his empire to him, but he suddenly became addled. Robotnik agreed to Tails' request and instructed him to step forward. Tails did as he said, and got captured by some mechanical arms. Meanwhile, Rotor had finished analyzing the fruit Tails ate earlier, while Sonic looked up what nemesis meant. Rotor informed Sonic that the fruit's effect lasted only 24 hours and said that Tails was back to normal by now. Sonic found the definition he was looking for and realized that Tails had gone after Robotnik, so Sonic hurried to rescue Tails. Sonic quickly arrived in Robotropolis and saw a door that Tails had jammed open. Meanwhile, Tails tried to think of a way out of his situation, but he couldn't. Before Robotnik could roboticize Tails, Sonic appeared. He warned Robotnik not to roboticize Tails, or they would all die. Sonic said Tails was sent on a suicide mission to destroy Robotropolis and Robotnik. Robotnik asked how Tails planned on carrying out his task. Sonic took Tails' badge and lied about it being a megaton explosive. Robotnik called Sonic a liar and ordered Snively to scan the badge. Snively said he couldn't get a reading on it and that Sonic might be telling the truth. Robotnik refused to believe that the badge was nothing more than a trick, so Sonic gave him a choice: release Tails in 5 seconds or risk getting blown up. Sonic began counting down, and with each passing second, Robotnik became more nervous. When Sonic got down to 1 second, Robotnik shouted for him to stop and said he would release Tails. After Robotnik and Snively ran for their lives, Tails asked Sonic how he knew Robotnik would fall for his trick. Sonic stated that Robotnik was a coward and it was the kind of thing a leader needed to know. Sonic and Tails then headed back to Knothole. Afterward, Antoine lectured Tails for over an hour. Tails got an idea when he saw the badge next to him. He threw the badge at Antoine, causing him to mistake it for a bomb and jump in the air. Unbeknownst to everyone, the fruit from the Tree of Wisdom bolstered Tails' intuition. Sometime later, Robotnik planned another scheme while playing with some toys based on the Freedom Fighters. Snively suddenly entered Robotnik's office and asked his uncle if he was playing with the toys. Robotnik hid his toys and denied that he was playing with them. Crabmeat asked Robotnik about his latest plan. "Know thy enemy," Robotnik replied. He then pointed at a banner of the Freedom Fighters and remarked that they were strong as a team, but weak when separated. Robotnik ripped off a picture of Sonic and used it to make paper dolls of Sally and Bunny. Later, Bunny and Sally noticed some searchlights in the distance. Sally was curious about the source of the searchlights, so she and Bunny went to check things out. The lights led them to a mall in the middle of nowhere. The two girls went inside, unaware it was one of Robotnik's traps. As soon as they entered, they fell into a trap door that led them down to the basement. Snively reported to his uncle about capturing Sally and Bunny, but Robotnik said he witnessed it on his monitors. Robotnik then told Snively to join him in greeting their guests. Robotnik entered the room his captives were in and greeted them. Sally realized that she and Bunny had fallen for Robotnik's trap, but Robotnik said it was too late for her to realize that. He then mocked Sally and Bunny and said that he planned on using them as bait to lure in Sonic. Bunny was insulted by Robotnik's underestimation of them, so she and Sally freed themselves from the swap bots. Robotnik witnessed the two girls dispatch his swap bots with ease. With the swap bots now defeated, Sally and Bunny turned their attention to Robotnik. They decided to tie up Robotnik alongside Snively and Crabmeat. Sally and Bunny then gave Robotnik his toys back and told him they made some political corrections. Snively threw his uncle's words about shredding paper dolls at him. Robotnik responded by telling Snively to be quiet. Later, Sally and Bunny returned to Knothole. Sally asked Sonic what he was doing. Sonic said he was cutting out coupons from the Mobius Free Press since the new Mobius Mall was having a sale on game cartridges. Sally made fun of Sonic for thinking about games in the mall, which confused Sonic. Sometime later, Sonic was casually avoiding some lightning strikes. Suddenly, Sonic heard someone screaming for help. He saw a frog trapped under a broken tree. Before Sonic could do anything, a mudslide threatened to bury the frog alive. The frog warned Sonic to run away, but Sonic used his speed to save the frog. The frog thanked Sonic for saving him and told him that he was a magical being. Sonic didn't believe the frog, so the frog said he would repay Sonic by making him magical. The frog used a spell to summon 3 magic stones from the sky. The frog told Sonic that each stone would give him a special power. The green one would give him super strength, the red one would give his body elasticity, and the yellow one would allow him to leap great distances. Before the frog left, he told Sonic to use the stones wisely and that their powers only lasted for a few moments. Sonic didn't believe the frog about the stones and planned on giving them to Tails as good luck stones. A few days later, the Freedom Fighters traveled across the Mobian Badlands in Rotor's Land Rover. Sally asked Rotor if his new invention could get them through the area safely. Rotor said that's what the test run was for, and they could only hope that Robotnik wasn't around. Tails confidently claimed that Robotnik wouldn't come near them. Sonic asked Tails why he believed Robotnik wouldn't appear. Tails asked Sonic if he forgot about the lucky stones he gave him earlier and said they would protect them. Meanwhile, Robotnik and Snively noticed the Freedom Fighters on the monitor of Robotnik's Beetlebot. Snively asked his uncle if they should swoop down and capture the Freedom Fighters. Robotnik called Snively a blithering bag of boredom and said he wanted to have a little fun in his Beetlebot. He then ordered Snively to destroy the Freedom Fighters' vehicle. As the Freedom Fighters continued traveling through the area, they suddenly noticed their surroundings darken. Antoine alerted everyone that something was casting a shadow over them. The group wondered what could cast such a large shadow, but Sonic figured Robotnik was behind it. Rotor alerted everyone about the Beetlebot, but it was too late. Robotnik shot at them and destroyed their vehicle. Sonic's group rolled down a hill until they fell into a pit. Robotnik then appeared and demanded the Freedom Fighters surrender immediately. However, Tails reminded everyone about the lucky stones. Sonic told Tails to hand him the stones. However, Sonic couldn't remember the correct color for the Super Strength Stone. While Sonic was distracted, Robotnik's Beetlebot grabbed a boulder. Sally told Sonic to run when Robotnik threw the boulder at them, but Sonic was confident that the red stone would grant him super strength to throw the boulder back at Robotnik. However, the boulder hit Sonic, causing his body to stretch all over the place. Sally thought Sonic was dead, but he revealed that he wasn't. He then informed everyone that he survived thanks to the red stone making his body elastic. Robotnik was outraged that Sonic was still alive and questioned what Snively had done wrong. Snively couldn't answer his uncle's question, so Robotnik ordered him to take him into the pit. He planned to capture Sonic's friends to lure him out. When Robotnik approached the Freedom Fighters in his mech, everyone ran, but Sonic held his ground. Sonic shouted he would stop Robotnik. However, he couldn't remember which stone would give him super strength. Suddenly, Robotnik's mech was about to grab Sonic's cornered friends. Sonic decided to take a chance with the yellow stone and charged at Robotnik. When Sonic jumped, he leaped several feet into the air, causing him to realize he had used the leaping stone by mistake. He then crashed into the ground. Sonic quickly recovered and pulled out the green stone. Sonic rushed over to his friends, but Robotnik had already captured them in his mech's claws. Robotnik was about to fly off, which worried Sonic since he couldn't fly. That's when he got an idea. Sonic ran to grab a trunk, which caused his friends to think he was abandoning them. He then cut a large piece of stone from the boulder Robotnik had thrown earlier. Robotnik ordered Snively to take them to Robotropolis so he could roboticize Sonic's friends. He laughed when he said he would send Sonic's friends after him. However, he was shocked when he saw Sonic holding a giant fly swatter. Sonic used his creation to smash the Beetlebot. Robotnik's mech was about to hit the ground, but Sonic used his speed and the green stone's super strength to catch it. After Sonic saved everyone, Sally asked where he got his new powers from. Sonic told her about the frog he rescued a few days ago. It then dawned on Sonic that the frog had told him the truth about being magical. Later, Rotor and Sally went to a pond. Rotor told Sally that Sonic needed a long rest. Sally asked why, so Rotor showed her that Sonic was trying to find a frog he saved before and asking for more stones. Sometime later, Robotnik and Snively spied on Bunny and Tails. Robotnik asked Snively why he had to show him such a pleasant scene. Snively apologized and said it was the only video of Bunny he could find. He then informed his uncle about Bunny's condition as a cyborg. Robotnik said he was already aware of it and claimed that he would use Bunny to bring about the downfall of the Freedom Fighters. Later, the Freedom Fighters were having a barbecue in the Great Forest. Tails asked Sonic if it was safe to have an outdoor barbecue. Sonic said it was, since Sally and Antoine were watching the skies for Robotnik's ship. Bunny soon arrived with a ladle for Rotor to make his barbecued Mobian mash. Suddenly, the ladle flew out of Bunny's hand and other metallic objects started flying in the same direction. Before anyone could figure out what was happening, Bunny was drawn towards the edge of the Great Forest with the other objects. Sonic knew he had to get there before Bunny and immediately headed off. When Sonic arrived, he was surprised to see Robotnik and a giant robot. Robotnik was using his Magnetized super electromagnet to capture Bunny so he could use her as bait to lure in the Freedom Fighters. Bunny shouted for Sonic to help while she held onto a tree. Sonic tried to think of a way to help her, but he suddenly got hit by a tin can. Sonic reminded himself that he had to watch out for the metal objects being drawn to the Magnetized magnet. That's when he got an idea. Sonic grabbed an incoming trash lid and ran out of the boundaries of the magnetic field. He then started mocking Robotnik to catch his attention. Snively reported to Robotnik that Sonic was holding a metal object, but he was out of the magnet's field. He asked his uncle if he should widen the arc to capture Sonic. Robotnik told Snively to wait for his command and to turn the Magnetbot towards Sonic. Snively slowly turned the Magnetbot towards Sonic, causing Sonic to pretend he was going back home. Robotnik shouted for Snively to turn up the magnet's field to full force and capture Sonic. Snively told Robotnik that Sonic was moving, but he was still tracking him. Robotnik suddenly realized what Sonic's plan was and shouted for Snively to stop following him. Sonic managed to lure the Magnetbot's magnet towards Robotropolis, causing it to attract the metal objects from the city toward it. Robotnik and Snively got trapped under a mountain of junk, giving Sonic and Bunny enough time to escape. Back in Knothole, Rotor coated Bunny with a special solution that would make her immune to being magnetized. Bunny thanked them and joked about her attractive personality. And that's it for this video of Sonic Lore History of Mobius. If you enjoyed it, then please sub, comment, and like for more. Thank you.